All right, friends, we are making soap dough today. If I can get my gloves on. I have been wanting to try this and not wanting to try it at the same time because I feel like I am probably making more work for myself this year. However, at the same time, why not? Let's give it a go, see how it goes. I need these things for the top. I can't do regular, for the tops of the new soap series. I can't do regular, like melt and pour rainbows because I just can't get the colors in. And, you know, they're too small to try to, you know, put in all of these dough, rainbows and gnomes. Trying out a recipe I have not used. I'm a little bit leery of, I'm a little bit like curious about how this is going to turn out because I used pretty like soft oils here, and I'm using a pretty expensive oil, the babasu oil, and I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I have to look that up later. Very little hard oils, and I mean, I guess that's the point, is that we want to get a pliable working dough, but I just don't see how this is going to set up right, but we'll find out. If it works, I'll share the recipe. Yes. So I'm hoping that it gives me enough as well of what I need. So what I'm going to do for soap dough, you need to keep it soft. So we don't want it to get exposed to air and start to harden like we would a typical soap bar. So what we're doing is putting this into a whole bunch of different containers. And I don't need much of each because what I'm going to do is make rainbow embeds. And I just need like a layer for each color. That really doesn't need to be that big because I'm not doing that many soaps, but I'm also doing these little gnomes and toadstools. So I need a little more white, I think, than anything else. Maybe like blue and red for the tops of the mushrooms, that kind of thing. I'm kind of just going to use whatever colors I have left from the rainbow and make the gnomes hats and the mushroom tops. That's the plan anyway. 2 more. This might just work out. And then yellow. So that worked. Get all of this out. I made a little more white than anything else because I need that for the base of the rainbow, and I'll show you what that's going to look like. But I also need it for the base of the toadstools, but I can also use part of the gnome body base too. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. And each one already has a spoon. I'm just keeping it easy. I'm keeping all of this disposable. And mix, 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 mix. I'm also not putting any scent into these because it's going to be pretty highly scented when I do the soap itself. And of course, I've already made a mess on my counter. All right, so this is the white. I'm just stirring it to, this will be like the little dots that go on the mushrooms and the base of the rainbow, which I can't really explain. I have to kind of show you that. So I will show you that when we get there. And it feels really nice and smooth. Now this babasu oil is kind of an expensive oil, but I happen to have some because I was going to make my own, just a hair product for myself with some argan oil and with that and some other things. And I bought too much of it, so that worked out. Now I can use it for soap dough. So I'm thinking that this recipe is going to work, and what'll happen is I'm going to, in the rest of this video, I will be showing you guys how I do the rainbows and possibly the gnomes. I'll show you. I'll show you everything, even if it's a disaster and doesn't turn out so great. All right, so this is like a little bit of brown and a little bit of white and a little natural for the gnomes. They're just going to be a little darker than I expected, I guess, or I could add some of the white. I don't know. I kind of want them to just have kind of a flesh color, but I'm not quite sure how to achieve that. So I'm only doing 16 soaps of these, so I don't want to have too many embeds. So I'm keeping pretty low on the volume here, and I don't want to have a bunch of, you know, colored soap dough that I can't use right away, because you kind of need to do that. That's a nice purple. So I think the rainbows are going to be pretty. I had originally thought about doing pastel rainbows, but then I thought I need darker shades for the gnomes and for the toadstools. This is for 2 different soaps, by the way. And this is the new series called Mystical Magic, I should also add. That's a great blue. Looks nice. And then the red, I've not used this red before, and I thought I was gonna have to order red, and then I was like, wait a second, I ordered this red from Nurture Soap a while back because I had heard such good things about it. I think on Royalty Soaps or something, I had heard something good about this. So I thought, let me order that, and then I never used it, and now I have it, and it's perfect, and it is a nice red. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I have all my colors ready. I've got my blue, my purple, my orange, red, I need a little bit more of. And then we have this, I need to, it's a little too gold. I don't want the gnomes to have gold faces, so we're gonna tone that down a little bit. My yellow, and then this is the white. So what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of white to this one. See how that does. Helps me, see if it helps me achieve what I'm trying to, but I can also add a little more titanium dioxide to it as well, which I might do. Yeah, I think I'll add a little bit more titanium dioxide to that one. But this looks great. So that's the plan. I also got these really cute molds. You can see them here. There's a couple sets of them. So the clouds are going to look like this. I'm going to do little white clouds. These are rainbows, but I'm not using these. I'll use them for something eventually. And then the suns and the raindrops and the moons. I am going to be doing like a star or celestial type theme soap, so I'll use those at some point. I figured I may as well get this mold, and I'll have it for the clouds right now. So I'm going to stop here because what I need to do is cover these in plastic. When you cover them in plastic, it keeps the air out, keeps it from getting hard, and then it's going to sit for, it can sit for 24 to 48 hours, so mine will be somewhere in between. And then I'll take the plastic off and unmold it, and then we'll kind of squish it up and get it to a pliable consistency that I'm looking for. And from there, we will begin making embeds, but kind of fun. This is fun and new for me, and I will take you along with me as I do it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for part 2, which will be in about a second for you.
All right, guys, so let's try this. I've got all my soap dough balls right here, and I'm going to tell you the first recipe that I tried. It did not work. It was very crumbly, and I was unhappy with it. So I formulated my own recipe, did a little research, did what I always do, and came up with my own. This one seems perfect. It's like Play-Doh, and too squishy. Love that. That's what we want. Okay, so we're not going to use all this today, but we are going to use a lot of them. A lot of each one, I should say. Now, my blue dye will red on it. Let's figure that out. We'll put these off to the side, and what we're going to do is, each one at a time, we're going to make a rainbow. So I decided I would just put down some of this. And what we're going to do is roll out. Well, we're not going to use this for the white. Right, the white's going to be a little different than the other one. So what we're going to do with the white is we're going to roll it out into kind of this long white cylinder. And it's going to form kind of the base of what we wrap the rainbow around, and I'll tell you what I mean by that more in a picture. But I just want to get like a really long, kind of skinny. In fact, I'm going to take some of this off. We just don't need it all. I'm going to get kind of like a long, skinny type thing happening here. And it's still probably going to be too much, and that's okay. Keep taking off what we don't need.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little walkthrough and talk about this, and I can't believe I'm actually even showing you this. I'm going to show you footage of what this looks like. It was a disaster. So let's just backtrack for a second. I started with one recipe, and it seemed like the perfect recipe to use. I'm not going to share that one below. It didn't work at all. It was crumbly. Nothing stuck together. It was terrible. So I got rid of that. And I tried another one. And this one should have worked. And to be honest, I think it would have worked if I had let it sit a little longer. I got impatient and I tried to work with it too soon. You can see that it's sticking to the plastic wrap. I kind of put it in too thin. I can't get it to pick up and roll. I just wanted it to roll over and kind of cover that white cylinder. So what I was doing was like a backwards rainbow. And what I ended up having to do was kind of piece it together. So the rolling pin attempts weren't working. Everything was so sticky. If I had maybe used a little bit of cornstarch, it would have worked a lot better for me. But I did not see that that was an option at the time, and I was just making it so much harder on myself. I'm not going to, I didn't want to waste the dough. I just kept trying. At that point, you can see me just like failing, trying to peel this off of the plastic, and I end up, and look at this piece right here, you can see I end up just kind of like piecing it together, thinking I'll just keep rolling it and eventually this rainbow will form. And I knew it wasn't working, but I didn't want to just abandon it right in the middle because I had already started putting all of these colors together. So on I go, and I am basically making a mess of my rainbow embeds that I thought were going to be super simple. And maybe they would have been. I am going to share this recipe because I think it's a good recipe for soap dough. I will write down my notes that you need to let it sit for a while and make sure it is really sealed with that plastic so no air gets in. And you can even add like a tiny bit of water to it to make it more pliable. I will also add that you can add some cornstarch to the area to help it kind of roll out a little better and not stick so much. I also think if I had used more of it to begin with, it would have been better. I didn't make enough, and I was trying to stretch it so thin that it just wasn't working for me at all.
Okay, so I showed you some of the soap dough that I made using a more kind of traditional recipe and, you know, just making everything from scratch with the lye and so forth. And what I have found is that, I mean, it worked to, you know, make some balls and things like that, but, you know, and I could definitely mold some things with it, but I wasn't really very happy with it. And after letting it sit for a while, it got kind of hard. So I have some of them that I left just in these kind of cylinder type things, and they're wrapped in plastic. They got kind of hard. So like this just shows you what that looks like. Get focus. Okay. I don't know. Like I can't really work with that, and it's only been, I don't know, like 24 hours or so. Not really super thrilled, and I'm not going to use this recipe. While I have a lot of it, and it's good dough, I'm going to take it and I'm going to use it for my gratitude soap. So what I'm going to show you today is, now I tried three recipes so far. And I will find one using the lye that I like, that works for me, but okay, so until I find one I really like though, I thought, well, you know, I have some time before I need it for the rainbows, etc. I'm going to try something that's really kind of like a DIY that anybody could do. You don't have to work with lye or anything to do this. And I found a recipe online. This is like something super simple you could do at home. So I thought trying it here might give you an idea to do something fun for Easter baskets or something like that for your kids. And you've got options here. So what we're going to do is, well, I'm going to actually start, I got these bowls just so I can mix up different colors, but I'm going to start with a big bowl. And I'll do a clear one so you can see what I'm doing. And, you know, I'm not as concerned about wasting ingredients with these as I am with, you know, wasting a lot of my really good oils, which I felt like I was doing with these recipes. So I'm going to put this recipe below as long as I feel like it works and it's a good one. And we're going to test it out today, making some I want to make some gnomes and toadstools. I might even roll this out and see if I can make that rainbow with it. We shall see. So I'm going to start with, should I double it? I think I'm just going to double it, and that way we can play. And I have my help coming over, someone coming over to help me. And she is probably a lot more artistic than I am in terms of this stuff. So I thought she could kind of play around a little bit. All right, so you put in cornstarch. Now, I'm telling you, when I say this is easy, it's really easy. I'm going to wipe up as I go along. I can't stand making a huge mess and having to navigate around it. Okay, let me get this. Now we add just a liquid soap. Now I have some liquid soaps. I don't think I have any down here. I think they're all upstairs. So I have liquid soaps that I have made that are amazing, and they're kind of pricey. They're very involved. They have a lot of very good natural ingredients, and they're kind of high end. So I'm not going to use that to make these when I'm experimenting, but that's something that I will use, because why not? It's already done. We'll use that. I don't have to worry about, you know, lye getting out and these hardening up too fast and so forth. So I figured, I went out and I got some 100% Castile soap. So you can get like Dr. Bronner, or you can get whatever. This one is the one that I got because it has like an almond honey flavor, and I figured I would just, oh, it smells good. Try that and see. So Castile soap is basically olive oil soap, and it's a very pure, good soap. And this way we'll see how it works for us with this. So I've got, right now I've got 2 cups of cornstarch, and then I'm going to put a cup of this in it. I've seen people online make this with like cheap shampoo and body wash and stuff, and I don't know, sometimes it kind of sounds a little gross, so I don't want to do that. Let me get my spoon. All right, so we have these in here, and then we mix and mix and mix. I'm going to be using a little bit of MCT oil as well, liquid coconut oil or fractionated coconut oil, to mix in some colors and also add a little bit of oil to this. But I'm thinking of these as kind of just little soapy bubbly bars on the top, and I want them, you know, just to decorate the tops of my soaps, basically. You know, something that you could pop off and use and create some bubbles in the tub. I think that might be fun for kids anyway. And then it just got me to thinking that this could be like a really fun Easter thing where you could mold these into Easter eggs and that kind of thing. I thought that might be nice to do, and put like a soap Play-Doh basically in your kids' baskets. And you know, I'm using like, you can buy some organic hypoallergenic Castile soap just in the organic aisle of the grocery store or health food store. And cornstarch. I mean, cornstarch is actually, you know, pretty good for your skin, and works really well in this. I add cornstarch to my bath bombs all the time. So I like the way this is coming together so far, and there's a really smooth feel. So maybe this will be it. So basically what you have to do is you have to take it and work it with your hands. So imagine like you're baking something and it's already coming together really well. This is. All right, so this is good stuff. We may have hit upon something. And I really, really hope that this does work so that I can leave this recipe for you. I'm going to leave my other recipe for you that I formulated using, you know, a traditional, you know, lye water and oil solution. So you can try that out as well and see, you know, let me know how it worked. So it's squeezing together really nicely. And this actually just kind of reminds me of working with bath bombs where you're trying to get a certain consistency. So I did watch a video where a girl was saying, you know, this is not the final recipe. You're going to end up adding a little bit more of what you need until you get the feel of it. And I completely understand what she means. So, you know, if I put this in, and by the time I you know, post this video online, I will know whether or not I have decided to include it. But I will put that caveat in there that, you know, add a little more of either the cornstarch or the soap until you get the feel that you're looking for. And I can already tell you it would be adding a little more of the soap. Now the cornstarch is also something you're going to want to add, I think, when you're like forming it into little shapes and potentially rolling it out as well. But I like the way it's squeezing together. So far this is good. I do know that I need more soap though. So I will alter the recipe based on the amount that I'm adding in here because it's kind of significant. And then I'm going to divide it into different bowls. And from there, we're going to add the color with the MCT oil so that the color disperses well, and we'll see how that goes. It smells great though, this almond scent. I like it. So I'm just kind of working it together and squeezing it and kind of playing around with it until I get the consistency I want. But you can see right here, I've got a ball of soap dough. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to put it in this bowl. That'll be white. And so far, I'm liking this, so I think I'm going to make more of this. Yeah, I'm going to make some more. I intended to, make as much as I can if it works. Put that one in, we'll make that blue. Much better. It's not sticking all over. Like the other one was really sticky too, and I may have worked with it a little too soon. However, it shouldn't have been that sticky, and it was just very, very difficult to work with. If you are an experienced soaper and you want to try the recipe that I'm adding there, by all means, knock yourself out. Let me know how it goes. All right, so I've got 3 bowls so far of this. Now we're going to make some more. Gnome skin color, reddish pink, kind of want a little pastel-y purple. Orange, white needs to be kneaded. Do that later. They all need to be kneaded, right? Yellow, blue. So, thought I would show you, instead of doing the whole rainbow thing, I'm abandoning the rainbow right now because I'm afraid I'm going to end up wasting something, and I just can't do that again. So what I am going to do is show you one way I plan to do the little gnome bodies, which I think will be the easiest way. Just going to kind of take this and roll it out. And I actually need to change my gloves for the 100th time so that I don't blend colors onto this. I don't want these to be too wide, and I really just want them to kind of, I'm going to do smaller pieces. I really just want them to become like a little cylinder, like I was doing with my attempted inside of a rainbow. And then I'm going to cut it, break some of that off. Of course, I've got it all over my shirt and everything else. Okay, so then what I'll do is just kind of like cut it once it's rounded. Roll, 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 fine. So I'm just gonna like slice them, and then I can use that to kind of form the gnome face. And I think that that will work. And I'll just do them like different sizes because I don't want them all to be the same. And then whatever I have left of this, I'm just going to kind of blend into my white to use, or even use them for the base of the toadstools. Yeah, I think this will be good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I want them a little thicker? Let me get a bar of soap so I can kind of use it as a guide. How big does that gnome want to be? Yeah. I don't know. This might be good. maybe a tiny bit thicker. And they are a little thicker here. So let's try these. Those might be better. And then I'm going to re-roll these. Yeah, I think these are good to make the little gnome heads. I'm going to re-roll these because I wanted to be able to the bottoms of the mushrooms and the gnome faces. I am so glad this is all of the things that I've been attempting this week. It broke on the first day. It wasn't a cheap one either. All right, so we'll do these different sizes, and some of the smaller ones maybe we'll use as the toadstool base. I think that'll be good. Yeah, why not? I like that idea. And roll, roll, roll. I'm not going to do all, well, I'm probably going to do all of these because I can't just abandon something halfway through. It's like not in my nature to do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have enough almost for the gnome faces. Let's roll out another one. Be done here in a second. You guys may as well hang with me as I figure out how to do this. These I think will be toadstools or faces. I don't know, but it's working so well, and I am really happy that it's working. Just get a bunch of them ready, and then what I'm going to do is show you what I want to do with the little gnome faces and hats and the toadstools. So you can see what I'm going for and get a sneak peek into one of the soaps coming up. That one's falling apart. Okay, I think we have plenty right now. The little end nubs I'm going to put back in. All right, so let me show you what I want to do, and I'm kind of just doing this for the first time with you guys. So let's imagine that's a little gnome face right there. Can you see it? You can see it. So I'm going to take a pinch of my white, and I'm going to make a little gnome beard with it. So let me get my white and kind of work on it a little bit because I did not do much with the white yet. All right, so I flattened the white. I gotta tell you guys, this is so much easier to work with. There's no way I would have been able to do this with what I was working with before. So I'm gonna cut here, and I'm gonna kind of just wrap the little gnome beard. This is so funny. Like this, and press it in. I swear I was like, my husband has grown his beard out since he retired from the state police, and I come up from one of my frustrations in not being able to do the gnomes' beards or do the get the soap dough right. And I was looking at him, and he had like little reading glasses on. Guess where I got my inspiration. All right, so there's the little gnome beard. And then what we want to do is we're going to put a little nose on him. So we need to roll a little tiny gnome nose. Oh God, this might actually work. And I'm hoping they all, well, they will. I mean, they're all going to look a little bit different. That's kind of the beauty of it. All right, I'm going to give him a nice little round nose. And we might need to even like, to stick them on, I might even need to get like a little bit of melt and pour or a little bit of like water to make it stick. Because I want the nose to be round and I don't want to press on it too much, but there it is. Okay, now what color should his hat be? What do you think? Let's give him a purple hat. So now I'm going to take this, do the same thing, make a couple of purple gnome hats. There's some hats right there. I don't even have to do anything. Let's take this one, and I'm going to kind of put a little hole in the center so that with my finger so that it molds on there. And now I know I need to like press in a little bit so that I'm doing that, and then it'll kind of sit on his head. And then we can kind of fold it because we want the hat to be slightly floppy, right? Oh my gosh, this is so fun. But you have to be careful not to squish your gnome. And you want the hat to come like all the way down to his nose, because otherwise it'll just look like he doesn't have eyes. We don't want that for our gnome. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Hold on, I need to show you this. Okay, I'm going to give his hat like a little pinch, turn it sideways a little bit, and there he is. There's our gnome. All right, so I'm going to keep working on these, and I'm going to do different color ones, and he's going to sit on top of my soap. So there's gnome 1. Then let's try toadstool. All right, so if we have, let's say this is our toadstool base. I'm going to do red for the toadstools. And I might make this a little more red, but I haven't decided yet. All right, what does the toadstool mushroom look like? Up yet, but I need to put like some little white dots on him, so I'm going to take some more of my white. Oh, I already have some here. So I'm going to take the white, and what I want is little circles. So to get the little circles, I think the easiest way to do it is to just make little balls and flatten them. And I know that from, I don't know, some other design I did. I don't know if I was soaking or baking, but it doesn't matter. All right, so we'll take this one, and basically we just want some little white spots on the mushrooms. And I'm definitely going to add and make a little more, put a little more red on this. So we just want to add like little white dots to the mushrooms. That one's kind of big, so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And then I'll probably redo this one because I want to make them a little bit more red. But basically, we're going to get the mushrooms so that they have like the little dots on them.
So I played around with these and made the mushrooms have a darker red and added darker colors to all of the tops as well. So do me a favor, guys, and if you would, please like this video and subscribe if you don't mind. I have a huge goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers this year. I've been at this YouTube thing a while now, so I'm hoping this year is my year. Thanks for watching.